The Clean Air Act 42 U.S.C. Section 7401 etc. 1970 is a comprehensive federal law in the United States designed to address air pollution and protect public health and the environment by regulating air emissions from stationary and mobile sources. The Clean Air Act authorizes EPA to establish national ambient air quality standards, NOx, to protect public health and welfare as well as regulate emissions of hazardous air pollutants. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It was created to combat the growing threat of air pollution, which was causing widespread environmental damage and health problems across the country. Clean Air Act Section 112 addresses emissions of hazardous air pollutants and promotes technology-based standards by a Maximum Achievable Control Technology, or MCT. The Clean Air Act was first passed by the United States Congress in 1963, with subsequent amendments and updates i.e. in 1970, 1977, and 1990. For instance, the 1970 amendments expanded the scope of the law and established the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, to enforce its provisions. The primary goals of the Clean Air Act include setting national ambient air quality standards, NOx, for pollutants harmful to public health, such as particulate matter, ozone, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, and lead. Regulating emissions of hazardous air pollutants, HAPs, also known as air toxics, from industrial sources. Implementing programs to reduce vehicle emissions and promote cleaner transportation technologies. Establishing regulations to address acid rain, ozone depletion, and other regional air quality issues. Facilitating interstate cooperation and coordination to address air pollution that crosses state borders. Provide mechanisms for citizen participation and enforcement. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, establishes emission standards for stationary and mobile sources of air pollution, enforce compliance with these standards, and implement programs to address specific air quality issues such as acid rain, ozone depletion, and greenhouse gas emissions. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Some case law for the Clean Air Act includes the following two cases that set forth powerful precedents. Massachusetts versus Environmental Protection Agency, 2007. In this landmark Supreme Court case, Massachusetts and other states, along with environmental groups, sued the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, for failing to regulate greenhouse gas emissions from motor vehicles under the Clean Air Act. The plaintiffs argue that carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases are air pollutants that contribute to climate change and pose risks to public health and welfare. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of Massachusetts, holding that greenhouse gases are air pollutants under the Clean Air Act and that the EPA has the authority to regulate them if they endanger public health or welfare. This decision affirmed the EPA's authority to regulate greenhouse gas emissions and led to subsequent regulatory actions to address climate change. Next we have American Trucking Associations versus Environmental Protection Agency, 2000 to 2008. In this case, several industry groups, including the American Trucking Associations, challenged the Environmental Protection Agency's, EPA, Clean Air Interstate Rule, CARE, which aimed to reduce emissions of sulfur dioxide, SO2, and nitrogen oxides, NOx, from power plants in states that contribute to downwind air pollution. The industry groups discussed that the EPA exceeded its authority under the Clean Air Act in promulgating CARE, and that the rule imposed unreasonable burdens on the affected states and industries. The case reached the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, which ultimately upheld most aspects of CARE, but remanded certain elements back to the EPA for further consideration. The controversy surrounding CARE highlighted the complexities of regulating interstate air pollution under the Clean Air Act and the challenges of balancing environmental protection with economic considerations. The Clean Air Act is organized into several titles and parts, each addressing specific aspects of air pollution prevention, control, and regulation. Title 1, Air Pollution Prevention and Control. Part A, Air Quality and Emission Limitations, CAA Section 101 to 131. USC Section 7401 to 7431. This part establishes the basic framework for regulating air quality and emissions. It sets national ambient air quality standards, NOx, for criteria pollutants like ozone, particulate matter, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and lead. It also requires states to develop state implementation plans, SIPs, to achieve and maintain NAAQS. Part B, Ozone Protection, replaced by Title VI, focuses on protecting the stratospheric ozone layer. Part C, Prevention of Significant Deterioration of Air Quality, CAA Section 160-169b. USC Sections 7470 to 7492. This part establishes requirements to prevent significant deterioration of air quality in areas meeting NAAQS. It sets permitting and emission control requirements for new and modified sources of air pollution in areas designated as attainment or unclassifiable for NAAQS. Part D, Plan Requirements for Non-Attainment Areas, CAA Section 171 to 193, USC Section 7501 to 7515. This part addresses areas that fail to meet NAAQS. Non-attainment areas. It requires states to develop and implement state implementation plans, SIPs, to achieve and maintain NOx in non-attainment areas. SIPs include measures to reduce emissions and improve air quality. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Next we have Title II, Emission Standards for Moving Sources. Part A, Motor Vehicle Emission and Fuel Standards, CAA Section 201 to 219. USC Section 7521 to 7554. This part establishes emission standards for motor vehicles and fuels, administered by the Environmental Protection Agency. It sets requirements for vehicle emissions testing, fuel quality, and emission control technologies to reduce pollutants such as nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, and particulate matter. Part B, Aircraft Emissions Standards, CAA Section 231 to 234, USC Section 7571 to 7574. This part addresses emissions from aircraft, including the establishment of emission standards for aircraft engines and fuels to reduce pollutants released during operation. Part C, Clean Fuel Vehicles, CAA Section 241 to 250. USC Section 7581 to 7590. This part promotes the use of alternative fuels and clean fuel vehicles to reduce emissions from transportation sources. It provides incentives and requirements for the use of alternative fuels such as natural gas, electricity, and hydrogen in vehicles. Next we have Title III, General, CAA Section 301 to 328. USC Section 7601 to 7627. This title includes general provisions and administrative requirements for implementing the Clean Air Act, including enforcement mechanisms, citizen suits, and federal-state cooperation. Next we have Title IV, Noise Pollution, USC Section 7641 to 7642. Title IV addresses noise pollution and includes provisions for regulating noise emissions from various sources, such as vehicles, aircraft, and industrial equipment. Next we have Title IV-A, Acid Deposition Control, CAA Section 401 to 416, USC Section 7651-7651. Title IV-A focuses on controlling acid deposition, commonly known as acid rain, by reducing emissions of sulfur dioxide, SO2, and nitrogen oxides, NOx, from stationary sources like power plants. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Next we have Title V, Permits, CAA Section 501 to 507, USC Section 7661-7661F. Title V establishes a permitting program for major stationary sources of air pollution. It requires these sources to obtain operating permits that consolidate all applicable air quality requirements into a single document. Next we have Title VI, Stratospheric Ozone Protection, CAA Section 601 to 618. USC Section 7671-7671Q. Title VI addresses the protection of the stratospheric ozone layer by regulating the production and use of ozone-depleting substances, ODSs, such as chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, and hydrochlorofluorocarbons, HCFCs. In summary, the Clean Air Act is a comprehensive regulatory framework designed to protect public health and the environment by controlling air pollution emissions and improving air quality across the United States. Each title and part of the Act addresses specific aspects of air pollution control, emission standards, and regulatory requirements to achieve these objectives. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. The Clean Air Act has been instrumental in improving air quality and reducing pollution levels in the United States. It has led to significant reductions in emissions of harmful pollutants, resulting in cleaner air and improved public health outcomes. Clean Air Act has spurred technological innovation and advancements in pollution control technologies, contributing to sustainable economic growth and development. Feel free to check out Level Up with Alyssa Mahin YouTube channel to level up your life in a more personalized way. See you there. Comment below, do you think the Clean Air Act has been a priceless statute created to ensure healthier air quality for everyone to breathe? Do you think we need more strict enforcement of air quality? Do you have any air quality issues in your area? Let us know. I would love to hear how CAA has affected your lives and would love to learn more about how your area maintains clean air. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment below to help support this channel and help me succeed so I can post more videos for you. Thank you all for joining me. Talk to you soon on the next one. Click on the on-screen images to subscribe and watch more videos.